What's up, y'all? So I am back to review The Shy. This is episode 3, and the episode starts off with a 6-month time jump, y'all, and we see this mysterious man getting out the bus, walking around town. They won't let us see his face. All we seeing is the back of him. Child, it's Reg. It's Reg. If y'all been watching the show, of course you know who Reg is. Reg is Jake and Victor's brother. We thought he died. Last time we saw him, he got shot up. We thought he was gone. So he coming back into town. We about to see how that is gonna go. Keisha and Tiff having a baby shower together. I'm sorry, y'all. This air is a little chilly. I had to cut my air down, y'all. This weather crazy. It was cold as I don't know what the other morning. I wouldn't say it might have been in the 50s. Like, what's going on? Anywho, Tiff and Emmett with these little gestures they keep doing each other. He's talking about, oh, I need a hug, and he gave her a hug. Okay, you know, nothing wrong with it. But after that kiss from the last time, it's just like y'all are blurring lines. Y'all are getting a little too close. I don't know what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was wrong with the hug, but the kiss was definitely out of pocket. So yeah, Reg shows up at Jake's door. Jake is like appalled. Jake is shocked. He don't know what to do. Like, Jake is going through. But he was ultimately, of course, happy to see his brother and happy that he was still alive. So, you know, obviously that was good. Reg and Trig, aka Victor, see each other for the first time. Child, Reg started being homophobic within minutes of seeing his brother. Trig punches him. I'm calling him Trig because it seemed like he reverting back to some of those Trig ways. He's not really Victor right now. Trig started punching him. And they almost get to fighting, but Jake, you know, calm everybody down, and they all just sit there and smoke together. Like, that has to be a crazy experience, like, to think somebody is dead and they not gonna, like, I would literally probably pass out. I would be the one that everybody is worried about, like, child, we gotta resuscitate this fool, because it would just shock me. Like, I would just be like, I'd be doing bad. I mean, I'd be happy to see the person, but I would just be shocked and upset of, like, the mental things that I went through with their death for however long they've been dead. Like, I've been, you know what I'm saying, dealing with it months, years, or whatever, and having to accept it just for them to knock on my door one day. Like, if you was on vacation, you could just say that. You ain't had to stress me out and have my chest caved in and crying, sliding on the wall, thinking I had to live the rest of my life without you. Like, yeah. Anyway, so they all chill, kick it together. It was good to see the brothers together. Reg is very toxic, though. Very much so. I mean, it's crazy. But we're gonna get into that. And I was also a bit confused because I'm like, I hope this isn't a setup for Trig to leave the show. Everybody is literally leaving the show. I hope he not leaving, so they decide to bring Reg back. Because, you know, I don't know. I hope not. I didn't like that. I would like to see all 3 of the brothers cohabitate. You know, like, that would be crazy. Like, that would be crazy if they all move back into the original, like, family house with Tree. That would be crazy. Anyway, so at the baby shower, they do a gender reveal. Tiff is having a boy. Alicia was correct. It is a boy. Keisha still don't want to know the gender of the baby. And Emmett is kind of upset because he want to know the gender of the baby because he wants to be a girl dad. And I hope they do have a girl, because overall they have a bunch of boys. Like, Keisha got Ronnie, Emmett got EJ. Did they even get the other 2 little boys' names? Like, we don't even know the boys' names, but his other 2 kids. So it's 4 kids now. You know, the 4 that they have together is a boy, and even Tiff is having a boy. Like, yeah, we need a girl in the mix. Somebody get a girl. So yeah, I would like to see Emmett as a girl dad. Like, that would be funny. But yeah, I would like to see Emmett as a girl dad. Like, that would be funny. 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 Like, that would we see Gemma and Brittany at the studio planning to meet with the producer. I'm glad to see Gemma. This episode 3, we finally see my good trifling sis Gemma. Like, we know Gemma is trifling, you know, she'll, you know, we know how Gemma is. But, you know, I still want to see Gemma. She's an interesting character on the show, so I'm glad she showed up. But unfortunately, we found out, child, her and Brittany both finna leave, child. They finna go to New York to pursue a music career. And of course, Gemma is Brittany's manager, so they going, child. I said, Lord, Gemma, you have been the trifling young lady of the whole show. Like, you done went from different friends, all this stuff. Like, you have done a lot, sister. You were a very interesting character. I hate to see you go, but, you know, hopefully, you know, they'll pop back up. Like, all the people that's leaving now, it's sad they're leaving, but I wouldn't mind, like, maybe in season 8 or so, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we already saw, I've been seeing online that they got renewed for season 8. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing some of them pop back up in town. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Gemma pop back up, like, oh, I'm back, you know, blah, 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 and, like, stir up some stuff. I don't know, like, I wouldn't mind. And, anyway, so they leave in town. So, let's see. Okay, so then we go to Jamal. Jamal is telling Dom, well, I'm sure they already knew this about each other, that he wants to wait for marriage and all this stuff. She don't want to, because we already know how Dom is. He said he has an addictive personality and he doesn't want that to become a issue, him to become addicted to that with Dom. So I mean, it's good that you're self-aware, but my good sis Dom, she got about 30 days. Do you know you have 30 minutes? That's what she thinking in her head. Like, do you know you got 30 minutes? Reg, Jake, and Hannibal kicking it. They was all kicking together, and Jake was like, y'all weren't gonna tell me, you know, my brother's still alive, blah, blah, blah. I'm just confused, like, no shade. I don't know. Let me Google this. What type of name is Hannibal? Is that in the Bible or something? And maybe I ain't got that chapter. Let me see. I'm Googling it. Because that name is just really strange to me. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's not giving biblical based off what I just read. But yeah, can we give him a nickname? Who got time to be Hannibal? There go Hannibal. Hannibal outside. Like, I don't. Can we call him Han? A ball? Like, I don't know. Reg gonna manhandle Jake, and he basically telling Jake, like, that clothing line, I don't like that stuff. You finna be a hustler like me. Why are you doing this? Like, Jake, please don't listen to your brother. Keep doing your clothing line stuff. Better yet, tell him, use your hustle money, the money you using that's illegal, and give it to me, and I could flip it for you and make legit money. Like, you can be a co-owner of my business. You invest the drug money, and I wash it, make it clean in my business. Like, I don't know, but why would you want your brother to be in the street like you are? Like, that's crazy. Like, because you know that ain't a good life that you living. That's so stupid. But there's that street mentality through and through. So, yeah. So, Dom and Jamal go to church. And Dom said the preacher is full of SHIT because all the stuff that the scandals and stuff he been caught up in. Like, and she was just saying she don't like, you know, the preacher, whatever. Basically saying it could possibly be the right message, wrong messenger, and she's not wrong. Y'all are listening to one of the most crooked preachers ever. Y'all taking advice from him. Hannibal. This name is working me out. I don't know. It's something about, I just don't like it. Hannibal. Anyway, that guy, he took Tiff and Nook to the trap house where they growing the mushrooms and I guess all the other drugs or whatever they got going on. And I just see all this fogging, and I'm just like, Tip, is this healthy for the baby, girl? Please, is this healthy for the baby? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's no danger at all to the baby, but it's just the fumes, the smoke that we can see in the air. It's just like, I don't think that's healthy for the baby to be around that. I mean, you know, I don't know. The baby gonna be high, girl. Get out of there. Charles prays for Tracy. And I see something brewing there, because he was sitting up there in the pulpit, and she was sitting down there in the audience, and it's like they were just, oh, the tension was thick, child. It's just like they wanted to undress each other. I'm like, oh, what is going on here? Oh my God. And then he prayed for her, and it's like, Tracy, girl, please don't. But it gets worse, and we're gonna get to that. Keisha met up with Maisha. Maisha basically sat down with her to tell her that she's going to LA to be with Kevin, and she's going to chase her dreams. Bro, why is everybody leaving? Oh, Maisha was my girl. I love me so much. Like, I love to hear Maisha rap. Like, that baby can rap. I love Maisha. I mean, it's good. I feel like she's going to chase her dreams in LA. And yeah, I think that'll be a good thing. Well, I don't even think she's chasing her dreams of rap. Now she into photography. Like, Jim and them then threw her off her career. Like, it's too much going on. Maybe when she get to LA, she'll realize that she really do like rapping as well, and maybe do both. She's, you know, her character is very creative. But I wouldn't mind Maisha going to LA. But like I said, I just hope the people, these characters that are leaving, I hope they pop back up at some point. Like, maybe toward the end of the season, like how last season they had like Thanksgiving, like, or maybe somebody throw a party and they come back to the party, you know what I'm saying, just to be like, oh, we came back to visit, you know, whatever, things going good, and we get a little update on them. Or they can come in to shake the table as well, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, like, who knows, you know, Jake and Jim had their little toxic relationship going on. Jim might leave town, her and Brittany break up, or who knows what happened with that, and then she might come back to town, like, and Jake might have a whole new woman that he in a serious relationship, and she come back to town like, oh, I came back to get my man, like, and shake the table, like, and now Jake questioning his new relationship. Like, it's so much stuff that they could do with this. So I hope that the characters aren't permanently leaving the show. Maybe they're going to try other opportunities, and, you know, maybe their schedule will be available so they can come back later, you know, and shake the table, or just, you know, give a little quick update on their character for an episode or so. Anywho, Alicia want Tiff to name the baby after Rob, child. I don't think Tiff feeling it. She said she already named her other son after Emmett. She tired of it. I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, that's whatever Tiff decided to do, but I'm gonna need his mama, girl. I'm gonna need you to, I mean, it's nothing wrong with making a suggestion if that's really how you feel. Like, you want your son's legacy to live on, but you can't force the girl to do it either. You know what I'm saying? And she was open to it. She said, I think about it. So we're gonna see what the baby name gonna end up being. Reg start asking about who in charge and all this stuff. So Jake tell him that Nook basically took over Duda's spot, and he was like, he wanna know where he stayed. So of course Jake, I guess, know Bakari. He know where Bakari stayed. So, and Bakari lives with Nook. So he get to go pulling up on. Why is Reg up here pulling back up, talking like, this my truck, gonna take the G-Wagon back from Jake? When y'all see that black G-Wagon coming through in Chicago, just keep your kids out the street, because Reg is unhinged. Keep your kids out the street, because ain't no telling what Reg gonna do. Just when you see it, go the other way. Reg is on demon time, okay? So he pull up on them, but we'll talk about that too in a minute. Jake and Gemma apparently still got a little situation going on. She asked, will he wait on her? He said no. And she cried and whatever, and she said, you know, that she loved him or whatever. And I think they trauma bonded, especially over that baby. Y'all remember, unfortunately, Gemma lost the baby that, you know, she was pregnant with her and Jake. So I think that was a definitely like a trauma bonding situation for them, and I think that's probably why it was hard for them to let the relationship go, even though they clearly was going in different directions. But it was good to see them part ways on somewhat of a good note. Like, they were honest, and you know, some feelings was hurt, but it wasn't any like hate or ill will toward each other. So I'm glad they were able to part ways on, like, you know, kind of like good terms or whatever. Child, let me tell y'all about Tracy for a minute, because we're gonna sit on Tracy's character for a minute. Why do Tracy got the worst choice? I mean, I'm sick of this. Why do we have to always get Tracy with a man in jail that just got her out of jail, a criminal, one that just ain't no good? Like, it's just like, Tracy, girl. Then Ronnie kind of was getting his stuff together, and then child, he got took out. So she literally got the worst choice in me. She that met Keith, the man that worked at Smokey's that was harassing Emmett's younger brother, and now she up here going on dates with him. He trying to holler at her. Child, after the date, they end up doing the do, you know. Yeah, they went home together, and yeah, she pulled him out of his Smokey's uniform, and yeah, they just had a time together. I just want women in general, well, people in general, but women especially, to accept and be okay with the fact that sometimes, like, sometimes you need to embrace being single instead of accepting and scraping the bottom of the barrel just to have a man. Because Tracy, like, you have been scraping at the bottom of the barrel for the longest time for a man, and it's like, girl, can you just be the single friend? Just embrace being single, girl. Just embrace it, because sometimes they're saying a piece of man is better than no man. Do you know who told y'all that? I don't know who exactly quoted it, but I can guarantee you it was some woman, probably born or alive before the 1950s. Some foot dragging pick-me woman, like from back in the day, like, that came up with that saying, a piece of man is better than no man. So pain and suffering is better than being by yourself. And it's a new day and age, baby. You don't have to. Women these days, we can do stuff on our own. It is good to have a man around if he's not bringing you excessive stress in your life. But if having a man around means you gotta be stressed about who he with, what he doing, if he gonna do what he told you he said he was gonna do, you gotta keep asking him to take the car to get an oil change, or to change, or like, you gotta keep worrying about what he at, why he answer phone. You gotta keep worrying about, like, it's just too much. Like, if you gotta deal with all that type of stuff in a relationship, it's not worth the headache, in my opinion. So Tracy, girl, why you can't just, like, embrace being single, girl? Embrace it. Like, embrace being single. Unfortunately, you lost your child, so now you a middle-aged woman with all the freedom in the world, like, and then you saying you don't want another child. So it's like, why are you so hung up on getting a man then? Like, embrace and be happy being single, girl, because you done had doodle. You just scraped about. Now you over here with a criminal that work at Smokey's with the teenagers. Girl, Tracy, maybe he might surprise us, though. Maybe he might be somewhat decent. But you see what Alicia going through over there with Shaw. That is what you get when you scrape the bottom of a barrel with a man and you try to put him up on a pedestal. They can't cope with it. They can't cope with dealing with a woman who is financially and overall just doing better than them and don't have the same struggles as them. So yeah, girl, you finna be another Alicia. You finna be taking care of, man. But Alicia got the money to do it. I guess if she want to do it, it ain't stopping no moves on her end to move Shaw in and throw him a little money here and there. So I don't think she really care. But Tracy, you more so of a everyday working woman. You know what I'm saying? If you had the baggage of having to carry a man on your back, it could bring you down tremendously. Anyway, they have a going away party. I'm sad they leaving the show. What was Kenya at? Was Kenya not at the party? Because Kenya said she leaving town too to go stay with her grandma. So it's like, what's the going? Like, she should have been, or did she already leave? King said, I ain't got time to fool with y'all. She probably scared. They done shot up her man Zay. So she like, I don't even want to party with y'all. Just get me out of town. Victor takes Tiff to Lamar's class. And that was nice to see. It was a really nice gesture because she is pregnant. Unfortunately, the father of the child is deceased. So it was really nice to see Victor, you know, step in and do a nice gesture for her. But people also saying that there may be something brewing with them too. And I'm just like, that would be interesting to see. Victor as a stepdaddy. That's interesting. Like, it really is. And what is my girl Fatima? Fatima, well, I know she said she was ready to get out of Chicago, so I'm assuming with the 6-month time drop, somewhere between that, Fatima said, you know what? If you ain't going, I'm going by myself, and got on up out of there. So I'm heavily assuming she ain't in the picture no more. We didn't see her in the episode, so I guess Victor, he trying to find him somebody new. So Tracy and Keith, okay, we already talked about it. She went on the date with him, child, and they end up going home together. Emmett talks to EJ after he talked to Tiff, and it was sweet, like how he, you know, told him to, you know, understand his mom is going through some stuff right now. But Tiff, girl, I feel like you making a lot of excuses. I understand you going through a lot, but EJ is still your child. You cannot neglect him. I think that you should still spend time with him, even though he's at his dad's house. Like, go get him, take him out somewhere. Like, girl, you got time to go to the weed dispensary or the mushroom house where y'all growing the stuff at. You got time to swing by Emmett Nam house and take your son the Chick-fil-A or somewhere and just spend some time and talk to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get that you going through some stuff, but you make time for other stuff. You making time to run that bar. Like, you're doing other stuff, but you're still not taking out time to go by there and check on your son. So it was sweet. I'm glad that Emmett speaks highly of Tiff, you know, because that's her son. And he's, you know, not encouraging him to have a bad outlook on his mother or the relationship with his mother. So I'm glad Emmett spoke positive and tried to get EJ to, you know, write something. But it's like, how I understand that he's a child and he want his mama. He love his mama. And she needs to spend time with him. I'm sorry, Tiff. But yeah, you need to go spend some time with your son. Jake and Reg pull up on Nook and Bakari, baby. Reg want all the smoke. So it's gonna be Reg versus Nook. This is gonna be crazy. Hide your kids, keep them out the street, because Nook and Reg is gonna be doing drive-bys day in and day out, okay? They finna be at war with each other. Like, it's finna be a war in the streets. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, this finna be a mess. But yeah. Another thing I want to talk about quickly is we not gonna talk about what happened between Bakari and Lene, because they obviously, he walked out on her last season and they've been in the same general area with each other and they're just not talking. Like, we need some closure to that story. Like, okay, they broke up, they're not gonna get back together. We need to know, did Bakari try to reach back out to her after he left that night? Did he try to call her? Was he texting her, blowing up her phone, trying to get back? You know what I'm saying? We saw he left the window open. Did he try to come back in the window and she wouldn't let him in? Like, y'all have to explain to us what happened. Like, these two are just now in the same vicinity and they just not gonna talk to each other. I mean, that's normal if the relationship was clear. I mean, he walked out on her, but to me, that wasn't a good enough breakup. Y'all need to make it clear, because it would seem like after something like that, he would have came back, or either she would have, like, something would have happened. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode. I'll catch y'all on the next episode review, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.